Hi guys, I'm doing another garden update. It is July 20th. We had a really huge wave of bad storms come through yesterday and last night, so I'm just going to give you a look what is okay and what's not doing okay, but not too much. It's all pretty doing alright. This is my horseradish. That was sent to me, a cutting, or a root I should say, by Ronnie Payne. I just wanted to let him see it so he could see how good it's doing. Thank you again for that. And these are the one variety of, oh, forgive me if I don't have this in the frame. The sun is so bright I can't see the screen. And I'm on my iPad. This is the one variety of potato that I put in a grow bag. I think I got that centered. It is a Russian fingerling. And the storm they were very tall. The storm just had them lay over a little bit, but I think they'll be fine. And then over here in our arch to the garden, we got in the very front, oh, I see a Japanese beetle, which is going to go shortly. But anyway, in the very front are Jerusalem artichokes, given to me by my wonderful friend Kathy Simon. Thank you so much. They're doing really well. And then a little bit bigger behind them are sunflowers. And then right up against this trellis that's arching over, without trying to point you directly at the sun, I have pole beans growing. I believe they are Kentucky Wonder. No, they might be rattlesnake. Well, one or the other. I have like 4 varieties growing. But anyway, they're pole beans. So they're just starting to climb now, which I'm very pleased with. The rain actually helped with that, a good soaking. And the one on this side, hopefully if I'm in frame, the box on this side is exactly the same. Alright, I'll try to get through this quick so it's not an hour video. The garden beds, they're all doing lovely. This one right here is Swiss chard in the front, and I have 2 different varieties of zucchini in the back. I have a golden zucchini. I'll come in here so you can see if I can get the fruit that's growing in frame. I don't know if I can. But anyway, you get the idea. Ooh, it's picky. There we go. There it is. That's a golden zucchini. And I have 2 plants of those. I know, kind of close, but... And then this one over here, without making you completely dizzy. I don't know if you can see that. But this is ball zucchini. There must be... Oh, if there isn't 12 balls, there isn't any. That sounds funny, huh? Of ball zucchini on this plant. It's just absolutely loaded. Oh, leaves, get out of my way. I don't know if you can see them, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's how that's doing. I haven't harvested any yet, but I am going to get that golden zucchini tonight. And then this bed, sorry for the lengthy walk, in the front is kale, and in the back is delicata bush squash, which just started flowering, but it's all doing well. I have no complaints. And this bed here, I have in the front, that big mass is watermelon radishes. I don't have any ready yet, so they're kind of slow growers apparently. And on this side, I just replanted. I have a French breakfast radish, so those come up fairly quickly, so we've been pretty much eating those. And the back is some variety of pea. I can't remember the name right now, but I will make a note of it later. It came to me in a seed trade, and as you'll see later, I wouldn't bother planting it again. I'm just throwing out the seeds because these are, I don't even think they're a foot off the ground and haven't produced anything. There's very sparse flowers on it. And I'll show you what, let me pan up and show you in the background. I don't know if you can see that, but in the background there's peas that have grown almost 6 feet tall. So that would be the Alaska pea and what I will be planting from now on. Alright, moving on. Here we go. This is an update on my shallots. In the front of the bed of shallots, half the bed of shallots that I planted from seed, this half, and then this half was planted from shallot sets. And they're all doing phenomenal. I can't even say enough about them. They're beautiful. In the back is cauliflower. This is the first time I've grown cauliflower. Tons and tons of leaves. Oops, I'm sorry. tons and tons of leaves, but nothing going on yet. I don't know if that's normal, but I'll just keep letting it grow, see what happens. This bed right now is empty because I harvested my garlic, and I'll give a quick pic of that to show my garlic harvest, which I was just so pleased. Please, it was fabulous. But I'm going to throw in some cabbage in this bed, and I got a few seeds I picked out, some rutabaga, carrots, and kohlrabi. So I'm going to be filling in some bare spots with that because they'll grow to the fall. So that's that bed, real quick. This is my onion bed, and half the bed on this side, I hope I have that in frame, are red onions, and this side are yellow onions. And they're all doing very well. I don't know if I could do a close-up where you could see the onions bulbing. Oh yeah, you can. Look right there. Yeah, see, they're bulbing up, so I'm very pleased with that. And behind them is broccoli. And finally, I gotta stop trying to hold it by the corner. I'm finally getting a broccoli head to set. This is the first one. The rest of them are coming slowly, but this is going to be my first one, and I've been watching it like a hawk because I have seen the cabbage moths around, so I'm ready for them. And then next bed is an herb bed. It's all doing well. It's got some basil, different kinds of basil, which is starting to bolt, which I gotta cut and rosemary and some lemon thyme. And in the back are just cucumbers, which are doing fine. I actually picked my first cucumber today, which wasn't from this bed, but I did pick it. Another herb bed, which is oregano, chives, parsley, and sage at the end. And in the back, again, a different variety of cucumbers coming up. And this here is my my obviously bolting spinach. I have to take care of that too. In the front is, I'm trying to remember the variety of spinach, and I can't, I'm sorry. But in the back are more cucumbers. Going over here, this is the strawberry bed. It's done. So I'm going to wait. It's starting to shoot out runners, so I'm going to be collecting up the runners for my friend Emmy because she wanted some for her strawberry garden. So I'll be collecting up the runners for her. There's actually a few on the plant that had to live that I left in the aisle. It's got runners, so I'm going to be potting those so that she can take them. And this bed is actually a question. This is Romanesco. Now, different places call it broccoli, others call it cauliflower, but it's that one that sort of makes like the spinny design that goes up. I haven't had anything happening on this, just wild, huge leaves, but nothing to look like a head. So I don't know if anybody's ever grown this variety. You know, if they could give me any info on it. And what you can't see in the back of this bed back here are my sweet granite melons. They're actually doing pretty well, starting to climb. Well, I'm training them to climb anyway, but they're doing good. They have blossoms all over, so I have high hopes. And then the next bed over is soybeans in the front here. This is soybeans. In the back, I have black mountain watermelons, and I was thrilled to death. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Right, oh, there it is. Let me try to get in there. Can you see it? Yes, you can. One teeny tiny little watermelon. I was thrilled to death to find that. But anyway, so much for that. So they're doing well too. And this is, well, let me back up from it a little bit. This is that Alaska pea that I had tried to show you earlier. See how far it's climbed up? It's way over 6 feet tall. These have done wonderfully. There's a big weed in the front. I didn't even see that. I'll get it after. And in this bed in the front, I planted out some lettuce to see how it would do. See if it'll sprout in the heat and try to get through the fall. I don't know. It's an experiment. It was okay. I had plenty of lettuce seeds if it doesn't work out. But I will definitely be planting Alaska pea again. It's phenomenal how much it's produced. Then the next bed I'm really, really proud of. Look at these cabbages. I'm going to harvest this one today, I think. I need to just go find a sharp enough knife to cut the bottom. But this is my first really successful growing cabbage. Usually the bugs get it and it doesn't head up well. But let me put my hand down there and try to keep this in frame while I do it so you can see. Can you see how big that is? It is pretty darn big. I'm very, very proud of that. Very proud of that. And then there's actually 3 more. They're a little bit smaller, but still doing very, very well. So that one is going to get harvested, and I think I'll probably make a New England boiled dinner with it. This is peas again. This variety is Oregon Giant Snow Pea, which is, it's a good producing variety. I like it for here, so I will grow this again also. The next, oh, I forgot to say, I don't know if you can see them down there, but I got carrots planted in the spaces between, so when I do cut off the cabbage, there'll be something left there growing. And this one right here, this pea is a new pea for me this year. This is it's called Blackston's Progress Number 9. Some people had reviewed it, although they were farther south than me, so it could be the reason it's not doing as fabulous for me as it is for them. But I mean, it's not a bad pea, it's just not doing as good as I expected it to do, but it's still good. I would think that further south, and I'm in the Zone 4, the White Mountains of New Hampshire, that I think it would be very, very good. And then in front of that are my cylinder beets. I actually just pulled one to see how they were doing. I don't know if I can get that. Oh, there we go. It's a cylinder beet. Just to see how they were doing. They're still very small. Here, I'll see if I can put up my hand to see. They're still very small. I don't know if that'll focus, but they're growing. And I planted some from starts because I wanted to try that. And in between the starts, I planted seeds. So hopefully once the big ones are harvested, the seed ones will come up better and take over, which is what I hope for. This bed used to be my asparagus bed, and there's still some that got messy when we took it apart that are growing back up, which is just fine. And I threw in a couple of the delicata bush squash in there just because I had a couple extra plants, and this bed was pretty much empty, so I stuck them in there. And in the back are Dr. Martin's giant lima beans. Definitely underwhelming. I don't know if we're too cool here to grow them well, but yeah. I planted 3 seeds and 2 of them came up. One of them really weird because it grew in like a spiral, like a corkscrew, before it actually started, you know, producing leaves and going up. But we'll see. It's still early here. You know, we've only had nice weather for probably a month, if that, because it was so cold this spring. But still, we'll see what happens. Over in this bed, this is another first time growing. These are parsnips. I planted them, well, in the spring. They take a long, long time, so I'm not going to worry about them as long as they don't get bug eaten. I'll just keep my eye on them and make sure they're doing all right. And the back again, another cucumber, different variety. I believe this one is National Pickling, but this is actually the set that I got my first cucumber off today, so I was very pleased with that. And this is the sunberry plant. I mean, it's growing fine. There's been a few fruit, nothing to write home about. It's okay. I wouldn't waste the garden space again, I don't think, but it's okay. Going on to this one, and this is another new one for me. In the back here are Asian long beans, I think they're called. My friend Chuck from YouTube sent them to me because he had them growing in his greenhouse, and I thought they were fabulous. They're the ones that grow the string beans that are really, really long. So I wanted to try them, and I don't know if it's because it's not hot enough like the lima beans. But, I mean, they're growing fine. They're just not growing very quickly. They're very slow. But they finally started to climb. I think you can see that right there. So I'm happy with that. And then in the front of this bed, and there's a lot of people have been asking about these because I sent seeds out this spring. But these are the Aunt Molly ground cherries. They're doing really well. We've been getting ripe ones for a couple of weeks. Not a ton. but there's more coming on. I just wanted people to see them, to see how, I don't know if they grow for everybody like this, but for me they don't get very tall. They just kind of sprawl along, but which is fine too. But anyway, that's the Aunt Molly's ground cherries. Hopefully I have them in screen with the sun. And they're doing very well. I actually have a few more of these plants outside the greenhouse and the beds out there. So, but that's pretty much it for the raised bed garden. Everything's doing really well. I have no complaints this year. I'm actually quite thrilled with everything. Everybody take care. Bye for now.